Guys, Cliff here. So we've got a small pair of curved grooming shears. These are Rainbow Fusion. They're well liked because they're super lightweight. The handles are made out of aluminum. The blades are very small. They're not an expensive shear, and they do have a slight concave to them, so they are technically like a real shear. And so what you have is you have that ride line situation where the ride line is right on the outside edge. Now, traditionally you would take these things all the way apart, but to get the ride line correct on these things, you need a special jig, and it's going to hold it at exactly this angle that's about 1 to 2 degrees up off the rear spine. And what you can do, it's not as good as doing that other method, but it works just fine, is you can take and you can set a stone and make sure it's on both surfaces together, and then ride it back and forth like that. And this will put a ride line in. You can see we just put the ride line in right there. It will be about that much of a degree back, so I think that's called a negative camber, negative angle. If it's a positive angle, the actual edges, the apexes, won't hit. But a slightly negative means that the surfaces of the ride lines, when they come together to ride against each other, they're going to be in a way to where they actually have positive contact. You'll get a good joint at the apex. If they were the other way, then they actually wouldn't touch each other. So flat would be perfect. Slightly negative, I mean, it's just a degree, and those will be rubbing together, and all you have to do is do that. So once you've put the ride line on them on the inside without taking them apart, you can come over, look at your angle match. There's the burr come up. And I am freehanding these, but you could, it's easier to freehand curve than it is to try and put them in the jig, because the jig won't follow the natural curve. So I'm just doing the brush thing, and then I'm just going to go with a light polish. I don't want to over polish around that edge. You can always check and see how it's shaving the hair on your arm. And then we'll go back and do the other side one more time. See how this one's curving the other way. So again, I'll use my eye, bring it in. I can see the burr coming up. I can see the burr coming up. Angle match. There we go. Make sure we get it all the way to the bottom. Brush that back. So these are small grooming shears. There we go. I saw the burr fly off. A couple strokes like that. And then let's go ahead, give them a wipe, and we'll test them. And then the final thing you'll want to do is see a little bit of residue there. Right there. And then I like to gently keep them apart while I close them the first time, and then open them up. And when you do it like that, another way you can test, it's not as good as testing on real fur or hair, but you get a pretty good impression of how this is going to cut just by how it's cutting tissue paper. And you can cut with wet tissue. If it's wet tissue paper, then you're going to be just fine. All right, you guys, thank you for watching. I'm going to clean that up. Thank you guys for watching, and I know that's going to be controversial, not taking them apart, but that's one of the ways you can do some of these smaller, inexpensive shears and actually do the inside and the outside together, and they'll work just fine. All right, you guys, have a great day. Aloha. Hey.